4:48 in the morning, currently almost ready to get out the door and head to the airport to go to Phoenix for the character performer auditions. I got a really basic breakfast going on here of bread and peanut butter. But in any case, I'll be getting to the airport soon and then headed to Phoenix. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. I am headed back to the studio from Starbucks. My cousin's wife dropped me off at this Starbucks just to kind of kill time, do a little bit of loitering before I had to go over to the studio for the audition. So this is about a 30 to 40 minute walk I'm currently on. Hopefully I'm not too sweaty. It's pretty warm out here, but I got some water. So in any case, be there in a little bit here, and then we'll do this audition and then camping later tonight with the family. So adventures to come. I'm excited. Just got to get myself hyped up, listen to some music. Maybe left my earbuds at the house this morning. I was pretty bummed about that. So I thought I'd do a little multitasking, cleaning some pans and talking about my experience with the character performer auditions. It was a really fun time. I was really impressed with the layout and the setup of how they ran the auditions. The people who were conducting the auditions, the instructors, were teaching you the routines, the choreography, showing you how to kind of animate well. The people that were evaluating you, they were all super awesome, super fun people to be around. All were very interactable, if that's an adjective, interactable, very approachable. The way it worked was they had us all meet at the studio. This one, ours was in Phoenix, in East Phoenix. You sign in, you get a number. They have you meet in a different part of the studio while they kind of get the paperwork and logistics set up for your audition and whatnot. The first thing they had us do was do just kind of a simple choreographed dance, not too many steps involved, some marching and stepping motions, somewhat like you would see in a parade or what a character would do at Disney World or Disneyland. After that, they had us do a little bit of animation. The particular animation that they had us start out with was just your simple acting like you're on a float in a parade or a character in a parade. And they had us just wave to the crowd with big motions. You had to be big and just like wave and just do creative things with your body to interact and communicate with the audience. Had us get down low and wave at people and, you know, react and stuff like that. That was kind of the first tier of animation. I'm not particularly good with remembering sequences. Choreographed dance, when I played basketball, I wasn't the best at remembering the sequence of movements in a play that they had us set up. I did the movements. I wasn't super confident with what I did. I feel like I messed up quite a bit with that. And I didn't feel like my animations for the waving and everything were anything particularly good. You know, everybody was doing the same, like big waves and everything. And I mean, I would look around and it was like somebody was doing the exact same thing that I was doing. So it was like, oh great. There's no way that I stood out because I blotched the dance motions and I just looked the same as everybody else with my animations. So they had us all sit down, everybody all at once. There was about 80 of us there, probably about 70 girls to 10 guys. They had us all sit down and they said, you know, if we call your number, that means you're moving on. If you don't call your number, thank you so much for coming, but that does mean that you're done with this audition and we're no longer considering you. So I was sitting there and it was like, well, this was fun, you know. I'm glad I did this. This was a nice ride and everything. There's no way they're going to call number 78 my number. So I'm sitting there and they're calling them out kind of in order of lowest to highest, who's making it. They get to 77 and then I'm like, well, moment of truth. And they called the number 78. They called my number and I was like, really? There were so many other people, so many other girls that were so good at these dance sequences that did such a better job than I did. Guys as well, I felt. And so many of them didn't make it. I think the number dropped from about 80 to maybe 30 to 40. So it might have cut in half. But they called my number and I was super surprised. I thought there were so many more people that did better than I did. So I was happy to progress on to the next round. But the next round, see if I can get some more cleaning in, slacking on that. The next round, they had us learn another choreographed dance, a little more elaborate, a little more steps to it. Nothing terribly difficult. It wasn't like ridiculous, you know, Dancing with the Stars numbers that they have you do. But it was enough that they could test whether or not you are good with dancing, good with remembering sequences of choreography, and how well you can do it. And really what they emphasize, and something I took to heart throughout the whole audition, was, you know, if you're not a good dancer, you know, if you're not here to be the people at the front of the parades tumbling and doing all these crazy dance moves and whatnot. You know if you're a dancer, you know if you're not. And so if you're having trouble with these movements, with these sequences and everything, just further highlight your ability to animate. And regardless of what you do, sell it, smile. So the whole time while I was watching my movements throughout this whole thing, I was just smiling, having a good time, trying to stand out in that regard. So I think it really helped. I made it to the second one. They had us do this choreographed dance, a little bit more elaborate. I was still messing up pretty regularly throughout the whole sequence. Then kind of in between doing that, they would have us do an animation. This animation was kind of fun what they had us do. They had us first act like we were creating a monster. So you could be conjuring up something in a cauldron. You could be, you know, hammering away at something. Whatever, they left it really open how you wanted to create this monster. Then after that, they had you actually act like you were the monster. So they'd say, you know, like phase 1 is over, you know, you creating your monster is over, now switch into phase 2, which is making the creature come to life, which I had a lot of fun with and was actually pointed out for something that I did right. Something that he really appreciated in my performance. I think it was about when I was stirring the cauldron that it blew up in my face and I was just reacting like super just... You know, anyways, he pointed it out. He thought that was good and encouraged me to do something else to kind of further that, make it even bigger, you know. And so I thought that was kind of cool to be pointed out in the midst of everybody else. I really tried to sell it on my performing, on my animating, and I still haven't heard back. I think we will hear back within 2 weeks or something is what I remember them saying. But I was encouraged by it because what they kept emphasizing was you don't need to be a good dancer. You don't need to perfectly carry out these moves. If you know that you're not a dancer, don't try to act like it. You're not fooling anybody. They've seen so many people who are great dancers, who are trying to sell it on their dancing and choreography. You don't need to try to make yourself fit some sort of mold that you don't fit. Just bring what you have to bring to the audition. I tried to just have fun with it the whole time. On the final stage, you know, it was like, the final step was they're going to bring 5 of you in at a time, and the panel of judges and everything watches you do the movements and such and the animations, and then they make their final decision, I think based off of that, which they don't disclose to you, but that is taken and influences their decision in conjunction with the other places they recruit from and whatnot. A lot of people were heavily practicing the dancing during that time. They were trying to get it down, doing the routine just so that they're ready to go. And I did a little bit of that while I was waiting. But mostly I just kind of tried to keep my liveliness up, my spirits up, just tried to keep having fun with it, just relax, because I knew that I wasn't selling it on my dancing. Even though I can dance, I can't do sequences that well, and I'm not a dancer. So I knew that, okay, I'm going to do my best to do this. They know by this point that Daniel Buster, number 78, isn't a dancer, but he could animate. And so I just try to really bring that out in the last one while still being somewhat proficient in the dancing. So that's kind of the whole experience with it. We won't know for a while, and so until then we're just kind of waiting to hear back. But it was a lot of fun. Even if you're skeptical of your abilities to character perform, if it's within the range of possibilities for you to go to an audition, I would definitely encourage you to go do it, especially if you really, really want to perform, especially if you're good with animating with your body, especially if you're good with dancing. Do it. Just go and do it. It was a lot of fun, and I got to meet people who are in the Disney College program, which, you know, to this point, the only people that I met who are looking to do the program or who are doing the program has been on Facebook or on YouTube, different areas of social media. So this is my first time to interact with people who were doing the program just like I'm going to be doing. And so for that, it was just really worth it to just see people and to really live off of their energy and get a little piece of the Disney College program before it actually happened. It was a great experience. If you're half considering it, if you're a quarter considering it, if you're 0.05% considering it, go do it. Go to one of these. They're a lot of fun. The people there are awesome, both the people who are instructing you, recruiting you, and the people that you are dancing and performing alongside. It was just a really great experience. I'm so glad that I did it. It just kind of kicked off the rest of my weekend really well. I went camping right after, and it was just a lot of fun. So that was my experience with it. Definitely look into it. It was a great time, and I don't think you'll regret doing it if you decide to do it. Hey guys, you might have noticed the awesome shirt that I was wearing in this video. It is my Lost Bros Trading Company Mickey Waffle and Bacon Crossbone shirt. I picked it up from lostbrostradingcompany.com. These guys are a couple of Orlando locals and they love Disney. They make a lot of cool prints for both shirts and hats and other stuff like that. If you're interested in their merchandise, I'll leave a link down below, lostbrostradingcompany.com. I reached out to them and just asked if I could do a plug for them. They didn't pay me or send me anything for this. I just wanted to give them some good positive word of mouth because I like what they're doing. So go and check them out. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Let me know down below if you did. Hit that subscribe button. I got some cool videos on the way, and we'll see you soon. Any case,